Good morning, everyone. Jasper Gonzo here. Another exciting episode of What's Next. Hopefully you agree. We're going to cover a few things in this video today. We're going to visit the, sadly, the land of stupid, the land of woke. You know, I've said it before, it's extremely hard to remove yourself out of this, only because everything is just so wokeified. Politics, movies, television, music, everything has been politicized and or filled with wokeism, which of course is the new racism. But here we go, kids. Story number one. This comes out of Outkick. American Express launches critical racist theory for workers, wants them to identify their privileges. Yes. American Express invited the great-grandson of the Nation of Islam's founder to tell its workers about the evils associated with capitalism as part of the critical racist theory training instituted by the credit card giant. Internal documents show, according to writer Christopher Rufo, in the documents obtained by Rufo, workers were instructed to, quote, identify the privileges or the advantages you have. And also told that in order to be a team ally, they should not speak over their members of the Black and African American community. The training documents show that Muhammad then started talking about reparative work and how American Express should start setting up products that don't maximize profit. Yes, because no one wants to make money in a capitalist society. It doesn't stop there. Employees are also encouraged to indulge in podcasts such as, quote, Beyond Prisons, which explores incarceration from an abolitionist perspective. Wow. These same employees are encouraged to read, quote, What is Owed from the New York Times. That is an essay from Nicole Hannah-Jones. Yes, famously Nicole Hannah-Jones of the 1619 Project, who recently just got booted from her college because they chose not to rehire her. Why stop there? Amex workers are also encouraged to read up on the, quote, case for reparations from Ta-Nehisi Coates. Yes, that same Ta-Nehisi Coates who has destroyed comics, Black Panther and the Crew, got trashed after 6 episodes. Of course, he did Captain America, Nazi, and of course, he's in potentially to write a Superman movie for Warner Brothers. My thoughts. Another corporate gone woke, not a surprise. Corporate chills within that corporate to push the wokeness, and they bring out of nowhere. Seriously, when was the last time you've heard the grandson, the great-grandson of Elijah Muhammad, the founder of Islam, brought anywhere to say anything to anyone? Never. Exactly. They dusted him off and they dragged them in there to basically shame you in your whiteness, because your whiteness is the evil of society. God help us. We're going to move on to story number 2. And speaking of racist theory, some good news. A courageous teacher blasts notorious Louden County School Board over trans and CRT policies. Then she refused to play along. A 5th grader teacher went before the notorious Louden County School Board on Tuesday night to denounce transgender policies and other, quote, equity issues, such as critical racist theory, and did something unexpected. She quit. Wow. The Loudoun County, Virginia School Board meetings have become notorious because of angry parents have shown up in droves to forcefully denounce the racist, divisive, discriminatory CRT equity agenda. No, they're not notorious because the school board cut off a public viewing area to spite the parents. They're notorious because the board is like that toddler who believes that if he just out an arm, turns his head, closes his eyes, he doesn't have to listen to you, you know. I see nothing, I hear nothing, I speak nothing. And you know nothing. Morse pointed out the materials sent to all teachers stating that Christian, white women were overly represented in teachers' corps in Loudon County, and quote, this has to change. Quote, within the last year, I was in my so-called equity training that white, Christian, able-bodied females currently have the power in our schools, and this has to change, Laura Moore said during a public comment period at the school board meeting. Clearly, you've made your point. You no longer value me or many other teachers you've employed in this county, so since my contract outlines the power that you have over my employment in Loudon County's public schools, I thought it necessary to resign in front of you. Thank you, Miss Morris. One, that took stones. That took guts to do, and I applaud you for it. Two, I applaud you for basically slamming this county and its garbage policies regarding, men pretending to be women, and also one of the most racist curriculums ever to be posed in front of any school board in any school of this country in this nation's history. When you are making history as you go along, it's easy. It's easy. I could say the sun's blue. I could say that water's not wet. I could say these things, and if you say enough garbage and if you spew enough lies over and over and over again, eventually someone's going to believe it. And these someones are our education system. These someones are the knucklehead politicians in D.C. The someones are the morons. I'm sorry. I meant, morons in corporate. As we've seen with big tech, who basically have said, well, if you don't believe in it, if you speak against it, we're going to deplatform you, we're going to demonetize you, we're going to shadow ban you. Everyone's in bed with each other. And sadly, we're all paying for it. But you have parents across the country who basically are saying this garbage has to stop. And at the end of the day, it's the parents who have the total control. It's not the teachers. It's not the education system. It's the parents. The parents have options, sadly, either to pull their kids out of school and homeschool, which has seen an increase since COVID, or they fight like hell to make sure that this garbage is thrown out of our schools. Woo! Story number 3. This comes out of the Blaze. Mattel apologizes after their Asian Olympic Barbie is accused of not being Asian enough. Yes. Toy company Mattel was bashed online for not including its Asian doll in its Tokyo Olympics Barbie line, and then had to apologize because their Asian Barbie wasn't Asian enough. Oh, what are we talking Asian enough here? Well, the company had previously announced that they would be releasing Barbie dolls to celebrate athletes in their Olympics held in Tokyo. This is off their Barbie. Barbie is committed to empowering girls to participate in sports by capturing the fun and friendship of the season and inspiring kids to find the athlete within. One comments, the absence of an Asian Barbie is notable despite Mattel's desire to empower and support diversity and inclusion. Yes, so stunning, so brave. Once again, more corporations going woke regarding this nonsense, but for them to completely, not for Mattel completely to overlook not having an Asian-themed Barbie for the Olympics, yeah, not good in the boardroom, folks. But then you try to make it up by putting one out there that's, quote, not Asian enough. What do you mean by not Asian? Again, like I said, what do you mean by not Asian enough? Are we talking the way the eyes are shaped, skin color, their facial features? What do you mean, Mattel? Because no matter how you explain it, you're going to lose. And sadly, you're getting smacked for it. This comes out of Bounding into Comics. DC Comics retcons Tim Drake shows him attracted to men. DC Comics officially retconned Tim Drake by making him attracted to men in the latest issue of Batman Urban Legends. Yes, let's take another DC character, or comic character in general, and make them gay. Yes, let's make them gay. We saw the embarrassment, the ridiculousness, the stupidity that Marvel Comics did regarding Iceman. So let's do it again to another character. DC Comics previously hinted that Drake might be attracted to men in Batman Urban Legends #4. In that story, by Megan Fitzmartin and Belly Ortega, Drake has broken up with Stephanie Brown, aka Spoiler, telling Oracle, "Drop it, Barbara, and stop talking to me about my ex." In response to this, Oracle tells Drake, "You need to slow down and take a look at yourself. Maybe Ivy Tower University wasn't for you, but you won't figure out what is for you if you're busy trying to solve everyone and everybody else's business. Because you're scared. You're so incredibly scared that if you use that big, brilliant brain of yours to analyze yourself, what you find is going to change you." Following this conversation with Oracle, Drake meets up with a friend named Bernard, and the two go out to get burgers. However, their meetup is interrupted as the Chaos Monster appears and kidnaps Bernard. Chaos Monster. Okay? Now, Batman Urban Legends #6, Drake has infiltrated Chaos Monster's lair in order to rescue Bernard. In the middle of the rescue, Drake and Bernard are surrounded by the Chaos Cult when Bernard Tell Tim Drake he helped me realize my true self, who I am. Tell him, well, he probably knows. He's the smartest guy I've ever met. But tell him, I wished we could have finished our date. As I started to say earlier, regarding what Marvel did with Bobby Drake, aka Iceman, they decided to make him gay after 60 plus years of existence in their creation, in Marvel's creation. So we're just going to make him gay. You know, you got Jean Grey whispering in his ear, you know, and he decides, hey, you know what? I'm gay. So, as we've seen, retconning is now becoming a normality in comics and in movies and television and music. So, no surprise here, but it's pathetic that you take one of the best Robins since Dick Grayson, probably the second best behind Dick Grayson, and decide to make him gay just because. Just because he's having a bad day, let's make him gay. And once again, you wonder why comics has gone to shit. Just me. And with that being said, I'm Jazz Berganzo. This is What's Next. Want to see more just like this? Please leave a comment below. Like it, share it, subscribe to it, hit that notification bell so you don't miss a thing. Woo! You know, taking a trip in the land of woke drains you. We'll see you guys next time. Peace.